always say I look young. At first, I didn't think much about it, but I realized that the more people say that I look young, they also see me as inexperienced, naive, I don't belong. And the more I hear about it, the more I wonder, am I really not good enough? Do I have to prove to someone that I'm older, that I'm wiser, that I'm capable of doing something? And that is when I realized that when people underestimate me for so long, I start to underestimate myself. So, in this video podcast, I want to share about that feeling, about what it's like not to be good enough, not because of what I've done, but because of how other people see me, and more importantly, how to break free from this feeling. Before we can talk about overcoming self doubt, let's understand where it comes from. So, why do we feel like we're not good enough even when we've worked so hard, even we've gained experience, and know that deep down we are capable? I remember hearing from a group of friends. This was during my primary school years, where they wanted to organize a play, and when I asked if I could join them, I mean, who doesn't like role playing? Who doesn't like all the being on stage and theater and costumes and all of that? So at 10 years old, I want to be a part of it, but they told me that I was too short to play for any role that they have. There was also a time I felt jealous towards someone or a teammate that got a project task because that project test is what I wanted. So I had assumed it must be because of my looks, because the person who gave the task had asked about who had commented on my looks prior to giving the task beforehand. Yeah. So there was also a time where I was working with someone. We were very close for a while, and I wanted to know some details, some things, from this person, but they don't want to tell me because of how decent I am. And they kept saying to a point that it became like a label. Fitri is decent. Therefore, conversations around me have to be kept at bay. So, so similar scenarios happen as I grow up, and when I enter the workforce, these are the same words that I would hear, and they haunt me. Short, decent, naive, young, and because of that, I approach opportunities unfairly. I thought that because I look young, I couldn't play a part, couldn't sit at the table, I cannot become a boss, I cannot lead, I didn't have the potential. So you see, here, it took me a long time to figure out that I wasn't just battling with what other people are saying about me, but I was battling with my own mind. Because even when no one was doubting me, I was already doubting myself. And that is when I knew that I need to change. And how I got over it, how I break the cycle is there are a few things that I did that helped me. So the first thing that helped me was understanding that I need to stop letting others define my worth. People will have opinions. People will talk. They talk a lot. But their perception does not define who we really are. And if we are talking about confidence, confidence isn't something that we have to convince others. Confidence is something that comes from believing in ourselves. I'm going to say that again because it sounds so good. Confidence isn't something that we have to convince others. Confidence is something that comes from believing with ourselves. And the second thing that I did was having focus on the task at hand instead of how I look. Yeah. So I have a few experiences as a youth volunteer in my 20s. And let me tell you that there are a group of 20-year-old young people with minds of Einstein's. Okay? So being young, or in my case, looking young does not take away your skills, your knowledge, and your wisdom. And if you feel the need to prove your age, stop. Do this instead. Prove your ability through action. So, a recent experience, well, not so recent anymore. I think I've been using the same example in my previous episodes. I got a chance to share a 20-minute talk in a Canva Symposium 2024. It was led by none other than my one of my business buddies, Liana from Lukisan. I was invited to share about how we can use Canva for Instagram. I rehearsed my part like crazy at home. I wanted to give my best. I wanted the first Canva Symposium in Singapore to be the best one. So, and I even got my husband to teach me a few how to start sharing, and it did pretty awesome. So I am owning it now. I didn't earlier. I think I keep shutting it down when people congratulate me or compliment me about it. But I'm owning this story today. I basically just worked on my sharing. I could have worn heels to make me look taller. I could have smudged a dark makeup just to make me look older, but I didn't. I came as I am, short, looking young, and I gave my all. And that is the best moment in 2024. And if I can meet my young self, I want to tell her that not to shrink yourself to fit in, but move in and take up all the space you want with confidence. I think the reason why we feel not good enough is because we are chasing a version of success that is being put out there, that we see in movies, that we see, hear from other people, hear from speeches. But that's the thing. Success is different for everyone. And if you have to prove someone, if you have to tell someone that you have reached success, that is actually not success at all. That is you looking for credibility. Success is something within us that gives an impact, that people see it, that when we do it and people see it, people recognize it, you don't need to do anything more to convince them. So, after the few weeks from the Canva Symposium, I have friends in business letting me know that I had done a good job for the Canva for my part, and they were proud of the person that I had become. I knew then that I have found my people, I have found my community. It took a while to feel like I belong in this group. I lost my previous one in 2017. I didn't know that I could find another, but I did because of the efforts that I put in, and people see it and people recognize it. And when they compliment, I feel belong. I don't find a reason to prove myself anymore. I don't care if what people say about me, whether I look young or short or stuff like that, because I know that I just have to give my all. I just have to put in the effort, let them see my actions through it. I start focusing on the things that I enjoy. You can actually see it for yourself. You can look at the work that I had done in Big Dreams Creative Studio. That is my life. That is my baby. So if you're someone who constantly feel that you need to prove yourself, here's what I want to tell you. You are enough. Tell yourself this over and over again. Put it on a post it, put it on a mirror or somewhere that you see every single day. Tell yourself that you are enough. You don't have to prove your worth. You don't have to convince people. You just have to show up as you. And again, confidence isn't about how others perceive you, it is the way you see yourself. If you feel confident, the confidence will show. Confidence has to come from you. You have to be the one to initiate or not to light up that confidence fire in you, for the lack of better word. That is it. Yeah. So this week, I want to challenge yourself. If you find the need to prove yourself, take a step back and ask yourself, am I doing this for you, for me, or are you doing this for them? And if you answer for them, remind yourself that you don't need permission to take up space. That space is already for you. You are already enough. That's it for today's episode. I will see you in the next one.